Hi there guys and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to be showing you the top 5 Isekai anime where the main character is overpowered, so let's get going. Coming up in 5th place is the 8th son. Are you kidding me? Shingo Ichinomiya was a young salaryman. When he falls asleep one night at his dinner table, he awakens to know that he's at a different dinner table during a wedding ceremony and in the body of a 5-year-old boy, whom he later learns is Wendelin von Benno Baumeister. Although he initially has the impression that he's part of a well-off noble family, he soon discovers that it was all for show. His family is actually poor and illiterate and lives in a thinly populated area on the outskirts of civilization. Furthermore, he's the youngest of 8 sons, which doesn't bode well for his prospects. However, he also discovers that he can read the local writing, which leads to him discovering that he has a rare aptitude for wind magic. When he encounters Alfred Rainford, a former court wizard who also specializes in wind magic, his prospects start looking up. This is the story of Wendelin earning his keep and his freedom through magic, with no world saving involved, and spending quite a while escaping his solitude. Ultimately, it is also the story of him being unable to escape the shackles of society. Fourth on the list is Cautious Hero. The hero is overpowered, but overly cautious. Young goddess Ristard isn't sure if she lucked out or not when she's chosen as the goddess in charge of finding a hero to save the S-ranked world gay brand. She's only summoned 5 heroes before, and never for a world of this difficulty. Because of the prevalence and popularity of Isekai novels in Japan, she decides to summon a Japanese hero to help her, and eventually stumbles across the stats of Ryaguin, who stands out not only for his unusual name, but also his high starting scores. Rista quickly summons him, but it turns out that she really should have read the fine print. Sia may be powerful, but he's also overly cautious to a fault, refusing to even set foot in Gaybrand until he's exercised his way to a higher level. When he won't even eat the food Rista makes for him in case she might be trying to poison him, Rista realizes that she may be in trouble with this guy. While his attitude may be a bit annoying, it might just be the saving grace of Gaybrand, especially considering that it is a world where the forces of evil dominate each and every expectation. The third on our list is the rising of the Shield Hero. The 4 cardinal heroes are a group of ordinary men from modern-day Japan summoned to the kingdom of Melromark to become its saviors. Melromark is a country plagued by the waves of catastrophe that have repeatedly ravaged the land and brought disaster to its citizens for centuries. The 4 heroes are respectively bestowed a sword, spear, bow, and shield to vanquish these waves. Naofumi Iwatani, an otaku, becomes cursed with the fate of being the shield hero. Armed with only a measly shield, Naofumi is belittled and ridiculed by his fellow heroes and the kingdom's people due to his weak offensive capabilities and lackluster personality. When the heroes are provided with resources and comrades to train with, Naofumi sets out with the only person willing to train alongside him, Melromark. He is soon betrayed by her, however, and becomes falsely accused of taking advantage of her. Naofumi then becomes heavily discriminated against and hated by the people of Melromark for something he didn't do. With a raging storm of hurt and mistrust in his heart, Naofumi begins his journey of strengthening himself and his reputation. Further along, however, the difficulty of being on his own sets in, so Naofumi buys a demi-human slave on the verge of death named Raphtalia to accompany him on his travels. As the waves approach the kingdom, Naofumi and Raphtalia must fight for the survival of the kingdom and protect the people of Melromark from their ill-fated future. With no one to turn to, and nowhere to run, he is left with only his shield. Now, Naofumi must rise to become the legendary shield hero and save the world. The second on our list is Arifureta, from commonplace to world's strongest. The ordinary life of 17-year-old otaku Hajime Nagumo is disrupted when he and his classmates are summoned to a fantasy world and tasked with saving mankind. While his classmates are gifted with impressive abilities useful in combat, Hajime is belittled for only gaining an inferior transmutation skill that lacks any real offensive power. During an expedition in the Great Orcus Labyrinth, Hajime is betrayed by one of his classmates, plummeting him to the bottom of an abyss. Though he survives the fall, Hajime is faced with menacing monsters and misfortunes that send him spiraling into a grim nightmare. Desperate to live and return home one day, he resolves to fight for his survival only to meet an imprisoned vampire he names Yuusha, who is also seeking to escape the labyrinth. Taking an interest in him, he and a few others along the way accompany Hajime on his journey to find a way back home, while steadily transforming from commonplace to the world's strongest. The anime is one of a kind, which has elements of a coming-of-age story, alongside the fun-filled action and adventurous setting. Okay guys, this is the moment you've been waiting for. The #1 spot goes to Demon Lord Retry. Akira Ono is an ordinary working adult who manages the MMORPG Infinity game. 15 years after creating the game, Ono decides to shut the servers down once and for all. However, as the clock strikes midnight, he somehow finds himself in the body of middle-aged Hakoto Kanai, Infinity Game's Demon Lord. Soon after his mysterious transportation, he witnesses the demon Griel chasing after a little girl named Aku. Although he effortlessly dispatches the creature, Hakoto is still concerned. After all, he does not remember creating the girl or the demon. Doubting whether he truly is in the world of his creation, Hakoto decides to investigate. Bringing Aku along as his guide and companion, Hakoto sets out on a journey to find out exactly who or what summoned him to this fantasy world, all while leaving chaos and destruction in his wake. He encounters and summons various companions who join him on his travels, and his reputation of Demon Lord spreads throughout the land, making him a target. While being targeted by countries and saints that are trying to subdue the Demon Lord, they cause turmoil wherever they go. Demon Lord on the outside, normal person on the inside, a misunderstanding type fantasy. The first season in the Demon Lord Retry anime series was produced by animation studio Ikachi Apilka. Never heard of them? The company formed in March 2017. The opening theme song for the first season was Tempest by Kaori Ishihara, while the ending theme song was New by Haruka Tueee. The story and characters are really good, there's some genuinely funny moments, and it left me wanting to watch more. I for one hope there's a second series. Okay guys, thank you for watching. Please subscribe below and leave a like if you enjoyed the video.